Hey everybody, it's Rider Club Radio. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
And this is a podcast all about Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and whatever other tokusatsu shit happens to be rattling around our brains.
Doesn't even have to be tokusatsu. Maybe it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
We do get a lot of questions about that, which
Maybe
is
it's
fine.
Our favorite Jackie Chan films.
What is your favorite Jackie Chan film?
Maybe Project A, but...
See, I like Who Am I a lot.
I haven't seen Who Am I in so long, I have to rewatch it.
Who Am I has literally no story, for the most part. It's just fight scenes.
That sounds fantastic, actually.
It has the big super cool stunt where he slides down the side of a building.
I do remember that.
Wires or anything.
Yeah.
God, Jackie Chan is a fucking madman.
What a legend.
Did you know he had to start his own insurance company to insure himself because no other insurance company would?
Because he got injured so often.
Yeah. What do you tell an insurance company? Well, first off, we're going to have a little bit of a light taekwondo kick scene on the roof, and then I'm going to just jump off of it. Anyway, I'm going to need some health insurance for that.
There's a couple cardboard boxes at the bottom. I'll be fine. The 10 stories, I won't even feel it.
There's a bush down there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So I'll be fine, really. Anyway, this week we watched Kamen Rider Exaid episode 41 and Choujin Sentai Jetman episodes 5 and 6. So now that we've got all of the Jackie Chan out of our system, for the next 20 minutes at least. Why don't you tell us what happened on Exaid this week?
Okay, so this week on Exaid, Dan Masamune and Johnny Maxima meet up, and they say, you know what, let's not do this movie. And they say, yeah, okay, I agree. It's probably going to be bad. Let's just not do it. So they meet up and they say, fuck this business arrangement, and they leave. Meanwhile, the gang doesn't have Muteki anymore, and they say, maybe we can ask for Graphite. Graphite can get through the time freeze. Let's go ask for Graphite. So they go and meet him at the abandoned warehouse, and he says, fuck you guys. No, I'm Bugster. I'm not going to turn good like the rest of those cowards. And Masamune attacks them, and they can't beat him because they can't get through his time stop. All they have is Mighty Brothers, and it just doesn't work very well. So they all have to run away. They go back.
Yeah, all they have is Mighty Brothers, level 10. Each of them is level 10. Which
is a damn shame. If only Emu had some kind of level 99 Geshat that might help.
Yeah, well,
he does use it, to be fair, but it doesn't fucking help.
He uses it later, but not this time.
Yeah.
Because buy the figures.
The sales for the Mighty Brothers are lagging. There's still a few left on toy shelves. So they go back to the pit, and Brave and Sniper are like, where were you guys just now? And they're like, oh, we were going to ask for Graphite's help. And Brave and Sniper are like, fuck that. Don't do that.
They killed my fucking girlfriend, dude. Did you not remember that? I feel like that he should have at least been a little offended. He was just angry. But
he should have. If he had said that, dude, he killed my girlfriend. Emma would have been like, "Sorry, girlfriend. Sorry. Wait, sorry. Fill me again. What was that? Girlfriend."
Well, wait a second. This is more important than your petty rivalries. Murdered the love of my life.
Look,
how long were you really dating?
Water under the bridge, hero. We were engaged.
Fucking look, Dan murdered Laser, and Laser's working with him right now. He killed him, and he's working with him.
They're putting their differences aside. There's a theme of that in this show, is people having to put their differences aside.
Yeah,
you notice everyone's putting their differences.
It's a nice theme.
They're like, you know what? Instead of that, we're just gonna go. Me and Snipe, we're gonna go and kill him and take his Gash trophy. So fuck you guys, and he leaves. And Dan, in the meantime, he says, okay, look, if I just make Muteki again, I could sit down and make it, but then he'd just reset. So I have to have some kind of failsafe this time. So he hooks up a machine to Emu's brain to extract all of his best video game ideas so that he can...
It's not very well explained, this technology.
He's got some glasses and a bunch of, cables in his neck to absorb all of his...
He has the diodes that you put on somebody when you're taking their heart rate, and a pair of the sunglasses they give old people when they can't drive because the sun hurts their old, frail eyes too badly. And that's the machine that extracts all of his grand ideas.
And he's like... Dan tells him, he's like, Emu, just lie down and just think about video games for the entire night while I type. And he literally works himself to death twice.
Three times.
Three times?
A bunch of times, actually, because he has 94 lives at the beginning, and then he says 83 left.
Oh, yeah, he dies a bunch off screen. Just works so hard. That's that Japanese
The same amount, I'll point out, that he died before the reset.
That's funny. They just wanted to get it back.
That is pretty funny.
He works so hard.
The whole scene is so ridiculous. It's like, it teeters on that Japanese-style humor that doesn't translate, but it doesn't fall off at any point.
I feel like it's more culturally relevant over there because of the work culture, but it's still funny here. It's but meanwhile, while all that shit's going down, fucking Hiro and Taiga go to fight Graphite, and they meet him on the cliff by the sea, and they fight him and fight him and fight him. And they fight him to a standstill, and then Masamune shows up, as he does. He likes to show up.
They don't fight him to a standstill. They whip his fucking shit.
They beat him up, and they're about to kill him. And Masamune's like, I can't let them kill you. And Graphite's like, no, you gotta let them kill me. They won fair and square. And Masamune's like, nope. So they fight. Masamune fucking blows up Graphite, kills him. Graphite's like, well, okay. He blows up.
No. Did you watch this episode?
I watched the episode. He's like, fuck it.
Graphite beats him a little bit, right?
He beats him up. Yeah.
And then, it knocks him out of pause, and then the gunshot that Nico shot hits him and kills him, and that's why she gets the Gasha trophy.
Either way, he dies.
He does die. And he smiles, and everybody's like, oh, he smiled when he died, so everything's okay, I guess?
That's his redemption? They get the Gasha trophy. He was
happy that he was dead.
Dan Masamune dusts himself off and says, all of you are fucked! And then Emu appears. He swings out of the...
Emu literally leaps onto screen, already doing his final attack, and just fucks him up, which is like... You ask yourself that anytime a fight scene happens, like, why don't you just use your fucking finisher right up front? And Emu does it.
Emu apparently was thinking that. Dan tries to reset, but Emu can save the game. He saves everybody's game, so the reset doesn't happen, and they summon Gamdeus, who appears and says, I'm the biggest, baddest mofo in this whole game. And that's the end of the game. I mean, that's the end of the episode. Jeff, what did you think?
It's the end of the game.
Yeah, it's the end of the game, too.
Buy the DLC to beat the enemy.
Jeff, what did you think of Exaid 41?
It was pretty good. I liked it.
It was pretty good.
It wasn't as good as the past few episodes.
No.
There's a little bit of plot contrivance, I guess, that he just figures out save in one episode.
That's a little lame.
So the threat of Masamune is just wiped out.
It feels like a plot thread wasted. Is Masamune can reset, which makes him all powerful, and then it took Dan all night to figure out that maybe you should have a save function in a video game.
Look. How long did it take NES games to give you a save function?
I don't know, Zelda was one of the first ones, that's what I know.
Video games had been around for 10 years at that point. Go fuck yourself. But that's not really what gets to me. It's not that it's lame that it took him so long to figure it out or whatever. It's what you said about it being a lost plot thread. It was literally a problem I had earlier in Exaid, where a really cool plot thread or... a threat or something goes wrong is introduced in one episode and it's resolved in literally the next episode.
Yeah. I remember
That's lame as fuck and I hate it.
When Muteki was introduced, we were both asking ourselves, how is Masamune going to stay a threat? And then he establishes himself as a threat again, and then the show says, actually, no. Just kidding. That's fuck that. Forget it.
Well, they had to bring Gamdeus in at some point. They've been teasing him forever, right?
Should have just had Masamune die. Just kill him instead of doing that.
Why didn't you just have the virus overtake Masamune and he become Gamdeus?
Yeah, that'd be fine too. It's just don't waste that time.
It circumnavigates the whole Gamdeus is the final boss. All we have to do is defeat him and it stops the game. If he gains a human host. And now they can't just beat him and turn the game off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They have to figure out some new way to do it.
And maybe they have compunctions about murdering Masamune, which is the only way maybe to kill Gamdeus. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Does Gamdeus look like Brain to you a little bit? Like his sculpt?
Maybe it's maybe they rejiggered it. I didn't see that. I have to look at it again.
I feel like they reused a little bit of the head because it has like this like face thing in the front and then this like basin on the back of the head. I don't know. It's not as big. It's not as obvious.
I can't say I'm a huge fan of Gamdeus' design.
No, I'm not either, really. I love that their plan to stop Masamune is completely pointless now, but there's no stopping it. I think that's amazing. I love that there are genuine repercussions for them doing something they thought was going to be helpful. Like, their whole plan was they were going to unleash Gamdeus on Masamune since they couldn't defeat him before. And now they have. Masamune is defeated, and Gamdeus is going to kill every human being on Earth.
I had mice in my apartment, so I let this jungle cat loose, and now I can't leave my room because there's a jungle cat in my apartment. What the fuck do I do?
It's gotten out and murdered all my neighbors.
Now it's coming for me.
Much bigger problem. It was a good episode that I felt was really contrived. I'm not a big fan of plot contrivance because you don't have enough episodes left, which is what always happens in Kamen Rider.
There are 4 episodes left of this show.
Yeah.
It's very soon.
You have to establish Gamdeus as some sort of a character before it's like the final episode, or you get a lot of other Kamen Rider series, like the robot at the end of Drive and shit, where it doesn't matter at all,
like
but it's the final boss.
A literal plot device.
Yeah, no doubt.
I feel like we're heading that way with Gamdeus. I'm a little worried, because he looks like just a big blah. I'm gonna kill everyone.
Gamdeus has a personality, at least. He's not just a robot.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, maybe his goal will be to, like, create paradise for bugsters or something. I don't know.
I feel like that would be... We're kind of past that. Like, that was Parrot's thing, is I want bugsters to live in peace and happiness and not be sad. If Gamdeus...
Well, now Parrot wants to... Like, Parrot wants to have the bugsters live in peace with humans.
Yeah, but if Gamdeus
wants to fucking murderize all the humans and bring out some bugsters.
If he just pops up and takes an old villain's old motivation, I think that would feel a little cheap.
Maybe, but if there was more time...
If there was more time...
in 4 episodes or not, but it would be a great juxtaposition to show how far along Parrot has grown as a character.
You could do it well, but there's only fucking 4 episodes left, so who knows?
That's the problem.
That's dangerous ground from here on.
I was discussing this earlier today with a coworker, though. We were talking about Iron Fist and how much of that show was wasted at the beginning to the point where I stopped watching it.
I hate that show.
I watched 5 episodes and literally nothing of substance had happened.
I watched 9 before I dropped it.
Jesus, you were a stronger man than I.
Yeah.
And we were also talking about the Netflix Castlevania show, which is 4 episodes long and sets up everything you need to know and care about the characters in it.
Right, yeah. Does not waste a single second.
And that is a lesson in storytelling and timing. Like, utilizing the time you have well is something that Tokusatsu doesn't do very well on the whole.
It's just really hard to parse out, 45 to 50 episodes and keep the plot moving the whole time at a decent pace.
Yeah.
It's just a tough thing.
It's a really tall order.
Without making, without either turning it episodic, like the Kuga Gambit, or just making it really fucking dumb, like Ghost, where just nothing happens and nothing moves.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of pitfalls you can fall into.
I feel like Agito did a lot.
There are shows that do it well.
Yeah, it's sort of like lightning in a bottle, though. It's really difficult to figure out in a way that makes it work.
And a lot of modern Rider shows tend to they split it into chunks of, like, here's the big villain, and then there's sort of like a 3-act story about that villain, and then when he dies, there's another villain, and he gets a 3-act story, etc., etc., and that's a way to, like, it's easier to sort of work with for the writer if you have multiple smaller threats.
Which is why I think there should be multiple villain organizations, or multiple teams of villains. and they have different goals, and they sort of slightly work against each other as well, so the plot line can bounce back and forth between them, and it's not, as happens so often, like there's a main villain for 70% of the show, and then they defeat them, and then another villain shows up who's even stronger.
Even the better, and then it happens one more time, and then the show ends.
That's poor storytelling. It's like if, not that I'm holding He-Man and the Masters of the Universe to any sort of standard. That's a terrible television show toy commercial for toddlers.
Okay.
If you enjoyed it, I'm sorry. I did too. Face the music.
I mean, we're doing a podcast about a toy commercial show, so...
Yeah. We
can
could
hardly
use that
talk.
card against me.
Yeah.
But it would be as if Skeletor got killed and like fucking Hordak showed up and was the villain of the series for like 10 episodes, and then it ended.
I don't know who Hordak is, but he sounds pretty lame.
I'm not getting into the fucking lore of He-Man. And
is he dumb or not?
Universe. He's She-Ra's villain.
Oh, okay. So he
actually trained Skeletor, is what I was not going to get into.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
But he's stronger and better.
The more strongester, bestest.
He's the man.
The big man. It's kind of weird. I'm not a fan of that sort of, like, here's the big blah right at the end.
Yeah. It would be like if Jackie Chan fought the Crazy Legs guy, and the Crazy Legs guy was the main villain, but then he got killed, and the guy who can take a punch without flinching was the main villain.
Yeah, that would be lame.
They're in all the movies, guys. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. The big American or whatever in every Kung Fu movie who's big and is big and heavy. It's like Drive has the bomb. Ghost has... what the fuck was the name of the villain in Ghost? They ripped him from the movie.
Gold Drive?
Gold Ghost. And then... fucking now Exaid's got Gamdius, and they all have these big blurs that show up right at the end. Did Gaim have one?
Yes. Although he had been in the show the whole time.
Yeah, I can't... I would count that as no, but that's a spoiler.
I would. That came out of nowhere at the end. Anyway. Actually, like, there was an extra blah at the end of Gaim who showed up.
Oh, fuck that. No, we're not talking about the last one. No. 46 or 47 was the last episode of Gaim doesn't count. No blows.
Whatever. That happened and you know it.
Is not canon.
Jam happened and you know it.
Nope. I was asleep. Didn't see it.
God, lucky you. Rip Van Winkle over here. Didn't have to live through that shit.
Is that all we have to say about Exaid? It was aight this week.
It was alright. That part really bugged me. Besides that, there was some good characterization between Brave. Like, I really liked the explanation of what Brave, Snipe, and Graphite were fighting for, and the differences between them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool.
I feel like they over-explained it a tad, but I like the
It's
theming.
a little melodramatic, but whatever. I liked it.
I have an observation.
What's that?
When Brave and Snipe go to fight Graphite, when they meet him, it's sundown. It cuts away, it cuts back, they're fighting, it's nighttime. It cuts away, it cuts back, they're fighting, it's morning.
They fought for 12 hours
12 fucking hours on that beach. They must be exhausted at the end of that.
No fucking doubt.
Definitely we missed some points where everyone's like, okay, break. Alright. They got some juice boxes or something. Brave's got a plate of orange slices off to the side.
They were like started to do a night fight. They were like, everybody wants us to do a night fight, right? Let's start. And then they were like, fuck, we're wasting so much money and electricity on these lights. Break. We'll come back and do this tomorrow. We just won't draw attention to it. Nobody will notice.
You called us out here at 3 a.m. to record a 30-second shot, like a single shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go back home.
We set shit on fire for this too.
Yeah, they set a bunch of little fire pits. Go back home. Sorry. Our mistake.
That's all I have to say about the episode, though. It was pretty good. I mean, I would say there's room for improvement, but like the last episodes were so good.
I can deal with a less than stellar episode after the last few.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I can too.
The shows are good.
I liked how smug Dan was when he introduced his save function.
Yeah, he's leaning back so far.
With this, like, shitty, smug smirk on his face. I love that man. He's getting a little Onari-ish at times.
He's what's the word I'm looking for? He's beginning to get Flanderized.
Yes.
Or he's been Flanderized, I'd say, quite a bit.
He has been Flanderized a bit, especially when, like, he was typing and stuff. He was, like, super goofy cartoon character typing.
Just a step too far, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't know. I missed it when he was just a giant fucking prick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, is you can be cartoonish if you're also a giant prick.
Yeah, that's your pass.
Like, we love Nira.
Yeah. Yeah, Nira was
Nira
one of my
is a
favorite
literal
Drive
cartoon character.
Yeah.
But he's a massive asshole monster as well, so
Dan's,
it's perfect.
Like, good guy Dan is not quite as entertaining as villain Dan. It's a shame.
I had a discussion with a friend of mine about that who was dead set on the fact that I was saying I didn't like Dan's progression as a character, which I do. I like it just fine. I just don't find him as entertaining as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I still love him. Still probably my favorite character.
Yeah, same here. But like I said, he's a little Flanderized now.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It's a shame what they did to Ned Flanders.
Are you ready for some news?
Sure.
Okay, so like 2 hours after we finished recording last week, Toei, like they must have like a bug in my apartment or something. They're like, okay, they're done recording. Do the press conference now.
So it really was just an hour or two after we stopped.
There was a Kamen Rider build, like a bunch of shit got revealed about it. The staff got revealed, the writer, the director, the plot, most interestingly, got revealed. Here's something interesting, though. The series writer, Shogo Muto, has never written Kamen Rider before. He's never done Sentai. He's fairly untested, which makes me very interested.
Oh, definitely.
And but the director is a veteran, Ryuta Tasaki. He did Agito, some doubles, some O's, some Gaim. He's done a lot. The director's done a lot. The writer is new, which is very interesting. So I want to see what that's going to go for. The plot is fucking nuts. The series...
I did not read this plot.
Okay, I'll introduce you to it. The series begins with the Japanese islands divided into 3 by a massive sky wall that appeared from Pandora's box found on Mars. In the 3 new areas...
Hold on.
What?
You just said that like it was normal.
That's the actual plot. I'm reading it right now. You
just said that like it wasn't the craziest shit you've ever said.
That's a Sentai plot. I feel like
it is a Sentai plot.
That's like they go to Mars and like all they needs is like another dimensional robot empire to also come out of the box, and you have a Sentai story.
Yeah.
So the 3 new areas of Toto, Saito, and Hokuto, unidentified life forms called Smash, begin to appear. Our hero, Kamen Rider Build, will face the Smash.
That's a verb. That's not a noun.
They're called Smash.
That is a verb.
Yeah, I'll smash you if you don't shut up.
Why don't you fucking just read it?
So Build, the protagonist, is a genius physicist, and the 2 full bottles, the themes are organic material and inorganic material. So, like we said, like an animal and a thing. Usually, like a dragon and a lock was one. Rabbit Tank is his main form.
What was the comic one?
Oh shit, there was a comic one, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was like
Comic Ninja?
Ninja?
I think it was Comic and Ninja. I don't know.
I guess a ninja is organic material.
A ninja is a person that's organic. So apparently you can mix and match them, but when they form a perfect combination, when they match up particularly well, they're considered a best match and get their own little unique finisher. That just means the ones that they bothered to make unique sounds for in the toy, such as Rabbit Tank. The perfect combination of a rabbit and a tank. There's just that I cannot wait to see all the shit. They showed a bunch of pictures of Rabbit Tank, some detailed ones. There's one that's a gorilla and a diamond.
Oh my god.
Yep. And he's got like a big gorilla arm and like a diamond arm. It looks really cool. It looks like
do
super...
you have a link to this?
Yeah, you want to see it right now?
Yes, I do. I want to see all of this right now for our studio audience.
Okay.
Gorilla diamond. The forms with the different eyes look silly.
Yeah.
But
like Rabbit Tank's eyes are similar enough. They're barely different. But Gorillamond, the eyes are quite different looking.
Gorillamond?
That's what it's called. Kamen Rider Build Gorillamond form, because he's a gorilla and a diamond.
Oh my god. I like it, though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I like that it has a diamond shoulder pad.
Yeah. I bet he's gonna tackle a motherfucker with it.
No doubt. The thing is, diamond is the hardest substance on the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And gorillas are the strongest animal.
The only animal that can possibly break a diamond is a gorilla. So it's the perfect combination.
I was thinking about this the other day. It would be great to do a monk in like a D&D campaign or a tabletop campaign and have them have diamond studded gauntlets. Because you would be punching people with the hardest substance on the planet fucking Earth.
And there's nothing they could do.
And also, you could, like, block weapons with it.
Yeah.
It'd be dope.
It'd be pretty dope. Apparently, this Kamen Rider build fella has the same idea, because he's got a whole diamond arm.
Idea. Well, he had a diamond on his shoulder. It's different.
Well, I imagine the blue parts of the suit are supposedly made out of diamond.
He's really not using it on his whole body the way he should, then.
No. He should have a diamond bottle and a second diamond bottle. If he was smart, that's what he'd do.
Isn't diamond organic material? Aren't comics made out of wood, which is an organic material?
I don't know. It's not alive, is the thing. Diamonds aren't alive.
I guess.
Unless you're a weird hippie.
Crystals and all.
You know, is it Gwyneth Paltrow, I think, who's, like, big into crystal healing?
Oh, yeah, you put a crystal in your vagina or whatever.
Yes! What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Put jade in your Jimbo. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she calls herself doing.
Jade in your Jimbo. So...
Look, fuck you. Continue telling me about this shit.
That's pretty much all I got, but that has got to be some of the weirdest. It's so, like, usually in a Rider show...
It's like an old Sentai. It really is like an old Sentai.
But even old Sentai, like, usually in a Rider show, right, or a Sentai show even, it's like, here's this threat. You know, the Grongi wake up, the machine, or the fucking Dimension Empire Vyram comes out, the Machine Empire wakes up in the North Pole, whatever, like an organization appears.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is happening here. Like, the world is getting divided into three, and I wonder how that's gonna, like, is it gonna look different? How is that gonna affect?
Well, here's the thing. It'll look different when they go to a wall. There will be a giant CGI wall. When they're anywhere else, it will look like different parts of Tokyo.
But I just wonder what it's going, like, how is the story going to be affected by this, and what like, if they're going to differentiate the three areas at all?
I imagine the monsters caused it, and the main goal of the series is going to be to get rid of it.
What if it was like, what if it takes place in a world where that shit happened like 100 years ago?
And it's just been that way?
It's just that people just live like that. I mean, they've named the areas, so...
Well, then I imagine it would be like the two areas that you don't go to would be crazy as fuck, and the main area that you spend all your time in would be Tokyo.
Tokyo, as far as the eye can see.
That would be cool if one of the three areas was like super industrialized.
Like Mega City 1 in one area,
yeah.
And then like the Untamed Wilderness in the other one, and then the third one could be like the wild card, I don't know. Kamen Rider
The third
Land.
one could be like a fucking
Helheim.
frozen wasteland.
Yeah.
It'd be dope.
It'd be dope. I can't wait to see what the fuck is going on with Build. Looks interesting.
It's probably going to be 3 Tokyos.
Probably going to be... I would say 3 different metropolitan cities in Japan, but they're not going to leave Tokyo. That's way too much effort. So, Jeff, I have one piece of news that's not so important, so let's get it out of the way. It's been long rumored, and this week it was confirmed 100% that Exaid will have 45 episodes. We mentioned this earlier.
Oh,
45 is the cap.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was just too good to have the full 50.
The thing is, if it got the full 50 and this was happening right now, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, you'd have plenty of time.
You could actually create Gemdius, make an actual character out of him, and have a full plot line involving him in, like, the 9 episodes you'd have left.
Yeah, I mean, if you had, like, 10 episodes is fucking 200 minutes. That's a lot of time.
That is a lot of time. I mean, movies give us a main character and an antagonist in usually less than 2 hours. So.
Yeah, you can do it. It's always the rider shows that you want more, and you're like, oh, if only I had a few more episodes. Those are the ones that end at 40 fucking 5.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost had a full 50.
And the ones where you're like, God, just let it end. God, just blow my fucking brains out. You get Ghost and Wizard. And they always push it straight to the 50.
What a waste. What a fucking waste.
Truly. So, Jeff.
So, Liam.
This week, your favorite rider, Rider 1, is getting a new figure art.
Holy shit, that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice, eh?
It really does.
But
I already got him, though, is the thing.
Not just Rider 1. There is also a figure art coming out for Takeshi Hongo. No suit.
I see that shit.
Yeah.
It looks really cool, too.
It's pretty neat, eh?
Yeah. I don't know if I'll get it, but it does look really neat.
Yeah.
How come your favorite rider never gets a new figure art?
Because
Stupid Knight.
A fucking secondary rider.
No one loves him. No one.
He's a secondary rider, and he wasn't in like a particularly red letter Kamen Rider series. He wasn't in like the first Heisei series or the first ever series. Or anything. You're a fucking bitch. Okay, that's why Knight never gets a new. That's why he never gets a figure art, because you're a bitch.
He never gets a figure art because he fucking sucks.
Did Kiva ever get that figure art? I remember they were advertising like all the Heisei riders are getting new figure arts, and Kiva was there. There was a silhouette. Did he ever get that?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I still
ever
see
hearing
people bitching about it.
Yeah,
so.
They said they were going to do it, and I don't remember ever getting that announcement that it actually came out. They're still dragging their heels.
Maybe you should wait for a figure art from a good show.
Maybe there's a reason why Bandai refuses to put it out.
Because they don't think it'll sell well, I guess.
Maybe it's because Kiva's a butt.
Ooh, got him.
Yeah, nailed him.
How's he ever going to recover from that?
That is all my news.
That's it?
Yeah.
Toy news, too. Fucking toy news.
That's what we're going to end on. That's the ender.
God. I wonder if we've ever had an episode where there wasn't toy news.
Gotta be at least one.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. This week we watched further into the Choujin Sentai Jetman franchise. The saga. We watched episodes 5 and 6, which were mostly about Kaori.
Kaori and Guy.
Yeah, Kaori being a wussy, and Guy being the biggest bitch that's ever lived.
That's what I wanted to say. For a guy who's supposedly really cool and suave, Guy does not handle rejection very well at all.
No, he literally quits the team. Like she is interested in Ryu, and he's just like, well, I hope you have a good time on this team without me, that I'm not on anymore, because I quit.
He's talking, and he's talking to, he's talking to Kaori. And she's like, yeah, you should try to be cool, like Ryu. And he's like, you like Ryu? Oh God! And the next time they're talking, he's like, Jesus, why don't you two just get married? Okay, you make such a cute couple and everything.
Yeah, he is the biggest bitch.
Don't look at
ever
me.
Lived. I like that. Apparently, all you have to do to get the girl, even in Japanese children's shows, is to just treat them like absolute shit, and they will fall for you immediately.
Yep.
That's a lesson that you should never take from any media. Don't do that.
That's what
stupid.
they like in Japan.
In fictional Japan.
It's the first episode of this show hinges on the fact that Kaori has suffered such a mental breakdown that she decides that she doesn't want to walk anymore for a while, which results in her almost getting run over by a train. Which in a particularly funny scene, and all the villains decide,
a particularly funny scene.
In a particularly funny scene, she's stuck in the wheelchair, and Guy
just pick her up.
Yeah,
pick her up.
Guy is just like struggling to move this wheelchair, and instead of picking her up, or maybe Kaori saying, you know what, maybe it's time to walk. She's like, no, I'll just sit. If the train hits me, then fuck it, I deserve it. I'll just sit here and wait.
And if she waits in the chair, she does.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm kidding, but like, Guy is actually the nicest he's been so far in these episodes, but it's just because he wants to get his dick wet.
Yeah, he's aiming for a girl, so he's got to be nice. Sometimes.
He's, like, desperate.
Oh, he's very...
Like, he just wants to get sex. It doesn't matter if it's Kaori or not. He starts, like, trying to get with the waitress when she turns him down.
I bet he's trying to make Kaori jealous. I can get any girl I want.
He didn't mention any of that shit.
Here's the thing. Guy probably needs a rich lady to pay off his gambling dets. That's think,
true.
What's going on.
That's probably not true at all. They're trying to set up a love triangle.
Between every episode, we're missing like 100 phone calls from various loan shark agencies.
It's actually trying to set up like a weird love quadrangle or like a quintrangle. Because Rie was transformed into one of the Vyram.
Yeah.
Apparently. And in the next episode preview, we learn that Ryu has been promised to a different girl.
Yeah, he's apparently getting married next episode to someone else.
So, apparently, there's just a weird fucking love quadrilateral around Ryu.
This is Inoue. He's like, I'm not sure how to create drama, so let's just make everyone fall in love with everyone else. Easy.
I love that in these past all episodes, the Yellow and Blue Rangers, whose names I don't even remember, have literally just stood in the background and commented on things.
Worthless. Like, I do like that there's romance, because honestly, if you have all these people together who are all very attractive and charismatic, they're going to start...
Let's not go crazy about this very attractive. They're all pretty weird looking.
They're all fine looking.
They're all weird looking. They're attractive people, but they're also weird looking.
In real life, they would be a fucking sex cabal inside of 2 weeks, let's be honest. It'd be like the Olympic Village up in there.
I don't know about all that. In real life, they probably wouldn't be flying bird vehicles to fight giant apartment buildings with legs.
Dude,
either.
That was so cool. The monster in the 6th episode is just in a live apartment, and everyone's living in it. Like, yeah, it's probably normal. And then it comes to life and turns into
devouring them and turns into a giant monster. That was cool.
And the scene when Ryu and Guy go into the apartment beast to fight the super like leader guy was super cool. I loved that part.
Yeah, that was really awesome. It reminded me of when Geki fought against Grifrazor. And in like the Shadow Dimension.
Yeah, and Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, and like Jason fought Goldar in the same scene, pretty much.
I imagine they recreated it, yeah.
But I loved it. That's the thing. This show has like really weirdly creative monsters in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love that all the main villains just up and decide to kill the Jetman themselves, which you wonder all the time, like, why don't you try and just go kill them yourself?
Yeah, it's like they have a weird contest going where, almost like Zyuohger a little bit, where they're like, whoever kills the Jetman first is the winner. And then they all realize at once in episode 5, they're like, wait, we're really strong, let's just go and kick their asses.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go and kill them.
They're not as strong as they think they are, apparently, because the heroes don't even transform for most of the fight, and they still survive. Also, the Jetman need to figure out that they can transform.
It's like you said, they can't transform unless everyone's there.
They have to, like, really be getting their shit pushed in if they're by themselves before they'll transform.
Yeah. Like, the whole episode, they're like, we're getting our asses kicked. Where's the pink swan, white swan? Oh no, if only we had some kind of thing on our wrist that would make us stronger.
Oh, well.
I do really love that they're having a lot of problems getting along. That seems like a theme in Jetman, is that nobody signed up for this, and nobody really is trained for it, and they're all just normal people with their own weird hang-ups and lives and shit. I really, really love that, and Sentai doesn't do that often enough.
They have problems working together until the end of the episode.
Yeah, but then the next episode
they work together perfectly.
They got new problems, which are more dramatic. I like it.
Yeah. I like that they do work together perfectly at the end of the episode, though, because it would be frustrating if we were stuck in the same plot line because they were just being bitches to each other.
Yeah, there's a little 3-act story in each episode. A little satisfying.
Which is great.
Good for a weekly show.
That is a really good way to do episodic.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just do the same shit over and over again.
I like Jetman a whole bunch. I also thought it was funny when they're trying to form the robot, and they're like, "Guy, you're going too fast. You're screwing it up." And then later on in the same episode, they're trying to form the robot, and they're like, "Hey, Ryu's not even here. What do we do?" And they're like, "The autopilot will do it. Just form the robot anyways." Why doesn't the autopilot do it? Why don't you just make it automatic all the time, you idiots?
I don't know. The commander is trying to get them to work together, for God's sake.
Why not just take the controls away from Guy and just have him sit in the cockpit while the plane just does everything?
Dude, you know how we were talking about how much of a ripoff the whole idea of the show is to Gatchaman?
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about, the Phoenix.
It's fucking
that
like,
is
Guy
straight.
Is like, let me shoot the birdonic missiles. I mean, let me shoot the bird missiles. I mean...
There's a thing where their jets combine together to form a flaming phoenix, exactly like another
special attack.
Yeah, for featuring a team of bird warriors called Gatchaman.
I mean, I picked that up as well, but Guy is Joe the Condor.
Oh, absolutely.
And Joe the Condor always wants to shoot the bird missiles, and someone always stops him for some stupid reason, and that happened beat for beat in this episode.
That is, I'm almost entertained by how shameless it is. Like, I love how shameless it is.
Me too.
Like, they're not even trying. Like,
how did they get away with this? Is it the same company? Does Toei own Gatchaman as well?
No, Gatchaman is Tatsunoko.
Yeah, you're right. I knew that. I own Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Oh, I love that game.
It is a good game.
I feel like, I'm not sure, but maybe this was Inoue's first Sentai. And he was like, I don't know what to do, but I really liked Gatchaman, so... But that's just me throwing...
They got away with it.
Maybe it's not his first Sentai, I don't know. But yeah, he got away with it. And it's a good show. I'm really enjoying it so far.
It is a good show. I really like the characters. They're so weird.
Yeah, that's the
For a team. Like, Ryu's the only regular Sentai-style character.
Mm-hmm. It really does feel like a bunch of totally random assholes thrown together.
Yeah.
And like they don't
Guy
work.
is, like, a seedy piece of shit who only cares about himself, which happens a lot, but he's like to the nth. Like, he's a literal criminal, it seems like, most of the time.
I remember
there's a weird, like, lady, like a rich, spoiled lady who's like a princess type, and there's what I'm guessing is some sort of like a juvenile delinquent type of person. Like, all she really cares about is money and like has sort of a bad attitude.
She's kind of spoiled, yeah.
I would call her spoiled. She's not the spoiled.
She's a bit of a. Oh, you're talking about the teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of like a rough and tumble type, and then you have a fat farmer who's clumsy.
I want his episode. When's he gonna have some drama?
I want to see like him deciding he can't be on the team because he's not good enough, and then he finds out he is.
Yeah, or something like that. I want to see him get married. Apparently, that's gonna happen every Joe.
Everybody gets married.
Every Jetman's gonna get married at some point.
It's gonna be weird when the 15-year-old gets married, but I don't know the laws, so
I don't know what prefecture she's from. Who knows?
Liam knows the laws. No, I really do love Jetman a lot, though. It is a great show so far. We're only 6 episodes in, and it might get really formulaic at some point.
I can
but
see
right
that.
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm super enjoying it too.
Tune in next time for the Super Sentai Second.
Cool. Yeah, I forgot we should be calling it that, shouldn't we? It is the Super Sentai Second.
It's back.
It's back, everyone.
It's back, baby.
It's been gone since Juoger, but now it's back.
Let's talk about some emails.
Okay, open them up.
Our first email is from Satoshi. Not one word.
Satoshi.
Sato space she.
Sato she. Okay.
Hey RCR. Last podcast, you guys mentioned that True Ending was similar to episode Final in that it was an alternate version of the ending. However, it actually takes place after the finale of Exaid. It is, as the title says, the literal true ending to the series.
That's depressing as fuck.
My question for you guys is, what kind of movie would you like to see for Build? Another true ending, an alternate ending, an original story, etc.?
If I was God and I could choose, if I was Kamida, I would make they just be like a side story that took place during the show. That's my favorite kind of movie, like where it's like a G4 thing, where it's like, here's a rider, take fucking Closer or whatever he ends up being, and be like, here's this little drama with him on the side that takes place.
I think I would like a movie that takes place after the end of the series that deals with like leftover threat. That's not at the same level of like the final threat or whatever, but it's like something that slipped through the cracks.
Okay. Yeah.
And the heroes have to come out of like their peaceful retirement as heroes or whatever one last time to stop it.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Or I'd do like a Gaiden.
I like a Gaiden. I like a nice Gaiden.
Hopefully episode final. What is the name?
True Ending.
True Ending.
I was literally about to be like, yeah, you got it right. It's episode final.
No, hopefully True Ending doesn't suck dick, because that would be really bad.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
This is a done deal. It's the Rider movie. It's going to be bad, probably.
Oh, well.
Wah, wah.
Our next email is from Paris Paradox Person.
Okay.
Who says, "Hey,
person from Paris."
Who says, "Hey Jeff, how's it hanging?" And Liam, if you make a joke about Knight because he's a bat, and I said, "How's it hanging?" I'll sue you, then fight you. Is that something you were gonna do?
I was thinking about dicks, actually.
Whoa. Anyway, on to some questions. God, Liam, you and dicks.
We have
he loves Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
It's his favorite store.
My favorite store to go to.
Suck a dick. On to some questions. 1. Are you guys loving Emu's final forms? I sure am. With the Maximum Gamer being a giant Exaid Gurren Lagann and Muteki with his godlike dreads that destroyed Cronus, I'm honestly questioning how you could hate them. Liam?
Because it's ugly as shit. Come on, man.
God, you have such terrible taste.
They're so ugly.
Jesus. I bet you eat ketchup on a hot dog.
Yeah, actually I do.
Wow!
Mustard's disgusting, dude.
Dude, mustard is the most delicious of the condiments.
No, you're fucked. How could you think that?
Because it's good, it's tangy, it's delicious.
It's too tangy, it's disgusting. Mustard is disgusting.
God, you are the dumbest man.
It's the grossest. Oh. You know, you don't have a Switch, do you?
No, I don't.
The first Splatfest is happening this Friday. It's mayonnaise versus ketchup.
Well, I'd be on ketchup side.
Yeah, I picked ketchup as well. That's a no-brainer.
I would actually... I'm not against ketchup on a hot dog. That's like a fucking American thing. Like, there's like this big pushback about ketchup being on a hot dog, like ruining it.
Nope. Actually enhances it.
I actually do eat only mustard ever since I tried it just with mustard on it, though. It actually is better.
I used to think... Like, I used to avoid hot dogs because when I was a kid, I thought you were supposed to eat them with mustard. And that was just how you ate them. And I was like, I don't really like these. And then, as like an adult, like when I was in high school, I was like, I'm just not going to get mustard on this and just get ketchup instead. And I realized, like, wow, I actually like hot dogs. They're good.
Well, you were not an adult, for one. And for two, mustard is delicious.
Nope.
Write in and tell us that Liam's full of shit and mustard is delicious.
When I was in university, I ate a shitload of hot dogs. And, yeah, ketchup on all of them.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If they had mustard, they would have been better.
Nope.
Also, Muteki is amazing.
Nope.
I'm not that big of a fan of Maximum Gamer, though.
They're both ugly.
God, what a dipshit.
They're
2.
both equally hideous.
If you could combine one animal with one object near you, or something you've seen online today, what would it be? And how likely do you think it would be to be something at least similar to what's going to be on Build? Liam, if you do something with a pug, so help me. The only animals that are near me, there's a cat near me.
I think you meant maybe. Well, okay, I don't own any animals, but I'm sure there's a raccoon within 100 feet of me right now.
Yeah, I'll do cat and soda. Cat.
How about a raccoon in a garbage can? For the worst rider you've ever had. The worst, just shittiest guy.
Kamen Rider Trash Panda.
Oh, there's something I forgot to mention. There was a little graphic revealed this week. I think it was in a TV-Kun issue. That apparently Nitrogue and Bloodstark, the villains from Build, transformed by shooting themselves in the head with a magic gun of some sort.
Straight up Persona 3.
Yeah.
3. Do you find it weird when Paradox, a level 99, and Emu kick Cronus, it destroys his Gashat, but when Brave, a level 100, and Emu do it, it just dirties him up a bit? That's pretty backwards, if you ask me.
Power levels are just right now.
Well, see ya, and the reason why Jake the Snake didn't say anything is because I killed him. Bye.
Oh.
It's weird, because he wrote in. He's like the email after the next one.
He came back from the grave. There's a battle going on for #1 superfan right now. A bloody, horrendous fight. Yeah.
I didn't give anybody else a nickname, though. So I think Jake's in the lead so far.
Okay.
It's because Parad and Emu are, like, connected. They're, like, the same guy. And maybe they're, like, I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter, is why. It's for effect.
Yeah, it's for plot reasons.
Brave is not the secondary rider anymore. It's Parad.
Oh, don't you... you're right. Shit, I can't argue that, really.
There's no argument against that shit.
He's absolutely... He's snipe level. He's tertiary. That's shitty.
Snipe and Brave will just show up to fight together from now on.
That poor son of a bitch.
Our next email is from Swirly Jiffy, whose name I enjoy.
Okay.
Swirly Jiffy.
Swirly Jiffy.
He says, "Hey Jeff and Liam, I had a couple questions for you this week. One, with the reveal of Build's crazy-sounding plot synopsis, what do you think the weirdest story concept is in Rider?" It's that one so far.
I remember when Exaid was coming out, we got a mistranslation saying that Emu was the one that created the Bugsters and they regarded him as his father. That would have been fucked up.
Yeah, it would have. Fucking infanticide.
I would have loved that, but yeah, that would have been weird. I'm trying to think of any other, like, super weird plot concepts that never came to pass.
Is weird. Gimes is actually weird. It's like a fucking forest is taking over the world from another dimension.
Gimes is weird on paper and then works amazingly.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be that way for Build.
I hope so. I like the idea that it's like a non-Toku writer, someone untested. I think that's cool.
I don't know. I feel like stories in Rider tend to be like, this shit happens in the real world, and everything's completely normal except this thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is
fine.
Like, these are like large setting implications.
It's tough to beat that.
I can't think of a lot of other Rider series that do that shit.
No, I can't.
Not off the top of my head.
I think that's got it. 2. I wrote in way long ago to ask what you two thought about a villainous protagonist for Rider. What do you two think if a Rider protagonist wasn't actually evil during their series, but had to pretend in order to trick the villains so that they could defeat them, like what Zekros did in Rider Tyson, but not shitty? Thanks for the responses. Your listener with your favorite handle, Swirly Jiffy. I didn't say it was my favorite, buddy.
You can't just come around proclaiming that shit.
Don't, friend of the show. Everybody's a friend of the show now.
I don't like that trope of I was just pretending to be bad to get close to the villain. I don't like that trope.
It could be more interesting if it was like a full series type of thing, and we were in on the gag.
It could be...
So it was like a really tense type of thing where he could be found out at any second.
Yeah, and he's forced to do bad shit. That could be dramatic, but 90% of the time in Toku, it's played like it's this giant plot twist that just makes everything really uninteresting.
Yeah. Well, I would want to avoid that, but I think like a really cool behind the scenes, like you gotta pretend to be evil type of thing.
Undercover.
Would be cool. Especially when he has to like Clark Kent his way out of a situation so that he can come back as the Rider to fight them. That would be great. And then he can have two forms, right? His evil form and his good form.
Oh, that would be clever.
I would love to watch a full series of Zekros behind the scenes in Badan just trying to be like a villain the whole time.
Climbing up the ranks and...
Like, it's fucking at the beginning of Rider Tyson, like he sees... like Ghost or whatever, or fucking whoever it was. Who was the main rider? It
was Gaim.
Gaim. He sees like Gaim and he's like, "Oh shit, yeah, I used to be one of those. Fuck."
Like he's so into it now.
Plan.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe I forgot. That was important, and I forgot it.
Imagine if he forgot and the enemies remembered, and that was how it ended.
Well, they did remember. They knew he was fucking around the whole time, apparently. What a stupid fucking movie.
I love that movie.
Our next question is from Jake the Snake.
There he is.
Who is still alive.
Apparently. You didn't hit hard enough, other dude.
He says, "Hey Jeff and Liam, we're almost to the end. This is only a minor complaint about the opening, but I thought they would have updated Tattle Fantasy to Tattle Legacy at least."
That's too much effort.
He talks about Graphite going down like not a bitch. Them figuring out the solution for Masamune. And he appreciates that all the main characters got or will be getting a fight with them in the spotlight. Except Poppy, because she's a lady.
Mm-hmm. Fuck Poppy.
Can't have a lady rider.
Nope.
Questions. 1. Why do you think Johnny Maxima showed up at the end of the fight? Or was he just there to laugh at Masamune losing? He showed up so you'll go watch his movie in the theaters.
That's exactly it.
Please be excited.
Please go see the movie.
Do you remember when that used to be the Rider Club Radio, stock?
Please be
quote,
excited.
Please be excited.
Yeah,
I'm bringing it back.
Okay.
Please be excited.
Please
be excited for me bringing that back. Yeah, that's the only reason they did that. The whole episode just had him in it so that you would be like, ooh, I wonder what his deal is. I better go see that movie they're advertising at the end of this episode.
Who is this incredibly interesting character, Johnny Maxima?
2, any idea on why Kiria and Dan are going to be fighting it out next time? I know there's no scoreboards in the series, but they've respectively beaten/killed each other once. Who do you think will end up breaking the tie?
I think it's another trick.
It is absolutely going to be a trick of some sort.
Maybe they'll just get sick of each other. I don't know, but it seems like they're not building towards having a real fight.
Wouldn't it be great if Dan tried to team up with Gemdius?
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? The tightest shit? Like he's like, Gemdius, I'm your creator. Let's fucking kill all humans. And Gemdius is like, alright.
Sure. Yeah.
So cool.
I get behind that.
I want that to happen. P.S. Silly as it is, I couldn't help but wonder if, and I know this couldn't be done for story reasons, but if from the start of the series, Laser's level 0 suit was his level 2 form instead, and the Boxo bike was his Gashikon, I think it would have been a decent setup for Kiria to work with.
I like his level 0 suit, but I also think it was really funny that he was a bike. So I don't know if I would make that trade.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd trade that out either. I mean, I think there's a really cool dichotomy between how, laid back, cool, smart-mouthed character he is, with all the tropes of being, the super cool guy who's too cool for school, and then he just turns into a fucking bike, and he has no regular form whatsoever.
Yeah, when he shows up,
I think that's hilarious.
He's so, yeah, I'll kick everyone's ass. What's your power? I'm a fucking bike. Vroom, vroom, motherfucker.
We also got an email from Don Piantis. I want to say thank you for sending it in. There was no question, though.
Okay.
He was just writing in to share some of his thoughts on the episode, and I appreciate that. Just wanted to let everybody know.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this podcast, and thank you especially to each of you who write in. I know there's a cast of you now who are
if you've
1/8 co-hosts.
If you've never written in, please write in. I would always love to hear from new voices. Just any question about anything you want.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be Rider related, doesn't have to be Sentai, doesn't even have to be Toku.
Yeah, we're desperate.
It doesn't even have to be anime or Japanese or anything.
Ask us about our favorite condiments.
It could. Apparently, somebody doesn't like the good ones.
Mustard is so. How does?
You're a strange fella. You know that?
It's so gross.
We would like to hear from you at riderclubradio@gmail.com.
Or you can follow us on Twitter @riderclubradio, unless you like mustard, in which case I don't want you.
You can follow me on my Twitter at mustardboy with 6 eyes 93.
Mustard boy. Yeah.
Thanks everybody for tuning in for another week of this. I'm sure some of you have been with us for the full 2 years or however long we've been doing this now.
2 years and some change, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years and some change, and I appreciate you. If no one else does. Tune in next week for another one. Bye.
Good night.